Hey, are you tired of the left and right politics? I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click that subscribe button, ring the little bell, and prepare to free your mind from the traditional red versus blue. So, to quote the Grateful Dead, she's gone. Liz Cheney no longer in a leadership position among House Republicans. This after she delivered a passionate set of remarks yesterday in which she said the following: the Electoral College has voted. More than 60 state and federal courts, including multiple judges the former president had appointed, have rejected his claims. The Trump Department of Justice investigated the former president's claims of widespread fraud and found no evidence to support them. The election is over. That is the rule of law. That is our constitutional process, and those who refuse to accept the rulings of our courts are at war with the Constitution. She makes a great point. I also recommend not only reading what Liz Cheney had to say yesterday in front of the Congress, but also what former member of the House as well, Jeff Flake, says in the Washington Post today. He, of course, the Republican from Arizona, notes first that Liz Cheney is losing or has lost her position, quote, because she is refusing to play her assigned role in propagating the big lie that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. And Senator Flake goes on to say that he had hoped that over time, his Republican constituents would feel differently about the former president, or at least value a Republican who pushed back and thought that he could stand for re-election in 2018 with a reasonable chance of surviving a Republican primary, then recognized that was not going to happen, and he didn't stand for re-election. Senator Flake says, quote, "It is elementary to have to say this, but we did not become a great nation by believing or espousing nonsense or by embracing lunacy, and if my party continues down this path, we will not be fit to govern." Third story. So it's Cheney out, Flake, the op-ed, now a third story that I want to draw attention to. New York Times today, Zach Montague writes that more than 100 Republicans, including some former elected officials, are preparing to release a letter this week threatening to form a third party if the Republican Party does not make certain changes, according to an organizer of the effort. To which I say, don't do it. Don't give the Republican Party a chance, not that they'll accept it, to make any of the changes, and nor should you form a third party. Instead, embrace being independents, because this is a movement yearning for leadership. I take note of the fact that those who are listed, a lot of good people in that New York Times story, are all former. I know so many of them, and I respect all of them. Former governors Tom Ridge of Pennsylvania, former Governor Christine Todd Whitman of New Jersey, former Transportation Secretary Mary Peters, former Representative, good guy, Charlie Dent of Pennsylvania, Barbara Comstock of Virginia, Reed Ribble of Wisconsin, Mickey Edwards of Oklahoma. I say better that they quit the GOP. This is such a unique time in our history. The numbers are there. Make the move. In January, according to Gallup, January of this year, 2021, when Americans were asked how they self-identified, 25% said, I'm an R, 25% said, I'm a D, and 50% said, I'm an I. I acknowledge that those numbers have declined somewhat since January. The most recent Gallup data says 26% identify as an R, 31% identify as a D, 40% say I'm an independent. What the independent movement, well, frankly, it's not a movement. It's just this mass of people, a plurality of Americans who don't want to be a Republican and don't want to be a Democrat. What it really requires is leadership that could be provided by the names that are now saying, hey, shape up, Republican Party, or we're out of here. The time for that kind of change has passed, and no one, listen to what Senator Flake is saying, nobody's going to take them seriously anyway. I know a thing or two about this. From 1980, when I turned 18 and registered to vote. Through 2010, I was a Republican stalwart. I served in the Bush 41 administration. When I was 29 years old, I was appointed to a White House job where I was responsible for all federal housing in 5 states and Washington, D.C. Voted only for Republican presidents, not lower on the ballot, but at the top of the ticket. And then broke when I voted for Obama in 2008, never looked back, and by 2010 didn't recognize the Republican Party that I had once joined and had to get out. But I became a non-party affiliate, which is what we call in Pennsylvania an independent, and I've never looked back. This incarnation of the Republican Party is not worth fighting for. Let them have it. Instead, let's create an independent movement, more in line with the Wednesday Lunch Club, which used to be, on Ronald Reagan's watch, a group of Senate Republican moderates. Arlen Specter, John Hines, Bob Dole, Nancy Kassebaum, Bob Packwood, Alan Simpson. Therein lies the future. Those individuals who are fiscally conservative, progressively, more socially liberal, more progressive on social issues, anecdotally and based on data, that's where I think most of the country lies. So to those friends of mine who are Republicans still and threatening to either change the party or get out, I say, like Liz Cheney, be gone. Get out of the Republican Party, become independents, lead this movement. And by the time of 2024, when we can finally put up a candidate that will attain 15% and get on the debate stage, we will have done the nation a favor. Because guess what? 2 choices is not enough. 2 choices, not enough. Not enough to have a Republican and a Democratic Party in this country. Leave now. Thanks.